SOLIDWORKS lets you control both the appearance of your model as well as its 3D environment, called a scene. Now there are a ton of different options here, and a lot of them are too advanced for this course, but I'd like to give you a rundown of some of the more important and commonly used options. Let's start by talking about scenes. On the Heads Up toolbar, you might have noticed this icon that has a drop-down list with many available scenes. As I click through several of them, you can see how each has a unique background and lighting scheme. One thing that can greatly affect the appearance of your model and the environment is something called RealView. If the graphics card on your computer is compatible with RealView, you can enable it by clicking this icon. RealView takes into account more of the actual materials, reflections, shadows, and lighting effects on your model. You can find a list of graphics cards that are compatible with RealView on the SOLIDWORKS website. With RealView enabled, you can see how many of the scenes appear much more realistic with reflections and shadows, and some scenes put you into completely 3D environments. I'll switch back to plain white for now. In addition to RealView, you can also control whether you want shadows turned on or off, and Perspective View, which creates an illusion of depth and distance from you, the viewer. The Heads Up toolbar is the quickest way to switch between the different default scenes, but you can also use the Display Manager, located here. Click on the Scenes button, and adjust the scene from here as well. Using the Display Manager gives you even more advanced control of the scenes. There are too many options to cover in this course, but we will go over all of the appearance, decal, and scene options that you can find here in the Solid Professor SOLIDWORKS Presentation Materials course. Now that we know how to control the scene and background, let's take a look at how to control the appearance of the actual model. There are actually several ways to do this. One way is by clicking on the Appearances and Scenes icon in the task pane. When I click it, the task pane expands and has sections for both appearances and scenes. The Scene section has all of the same scenes you saw in the drop-down menu a moment ago, but gives you a small preview of what each scene looks like. Just above the Scene section is where you can control the appearance of the model itself. SOLIDWORKS includes lots of appearances that simulate different types of materials. Adding an appearance only affects the part visually. The material and properties of the model will not be changed. To change the appearance, I can simply double-click, and it changes the appearance of the entire model. You can also do this by clicking and dragging an appearance and dropping it on the model. The advantage to the drag and drop approach is that you get to control whether the appearance is applied to the entire part, body, the feature, or the face you dropped it on. You should know that SOLIDWORKS applies appearances to your models in a hierarchical structure. In other words, appearances on faces override appearances on features, which override bodies, which in turn override the overall part's appearance. Let's have a look. So far, I've applied an appearance to the overall part. If I apply a different appearance to the feature, you can see just the appearance of that feature is changed, overriding the part's appearance. If I choose another material and drag and drop it on a face belonging to the same feature, I can apply it to the face only, and it overrides the feature color. At times, it can be confusing whether an appearance is applied to a face, feature, or part. An easy way to identify which is which, by clicking on any face or feature and select the Appearances button from the pop-up toolbar. This will show you very clearly which appearance is applied to the face you selected, its corresponding feature, body, and part. Another way to view this hierarchy is by using the Display Manager and clicking the Appearances button. Here you can view and sort all of the appearances applied to the model, and even make changes if you need to. To remove an appearance, you can simply click on the red cross next to it. If you click on an appearance, the Property Manager will appear, allowing you to change, add, or remove a color. To remove or change any appearance, just click on the item you wish to change. Here I can click the Remove Appearance button. As soon as I do, the face color is removed, and you can see it defaults back to the feature color. Down below in the Property Manager, you can control some additional optical properties such as color. For the color, you can use any of the predefined swatches in the palette, or drag your cursor through this area to find the color you like. At the bottom, you can even type in RGB values if you want a specific color. At this point, I'll click OK. Before I conclude this lesson, I want to show you a shortcut to accessing the Appearance Property Manager. When doing a click and drag from the task pane and selecting the part from the pop-up, SOLIDWORKS never presented the Property Manager that allows you to control the color and transparency. To do this, you can hold down the Alt key while clicking and dragging. As soon as I release the mouse, the Property Manager appears and you can make any adjustments you'd like.